Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite DraftKings plays for tonight's 12-game slate in the NHL. Let's get right into it. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do, highlighting the 12 games that we have in the NHL tonight, showing you the money lines and over-unders. First set of games here, we got the Golden Knights at Bruins, Canadiens at Panthers, Islanders at Red Wings, Coyotes at Maple Leafs, Sabres at Lightning, and the Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Next set of games here, we got the Jets at Stars, Wild at Predators, Avalanche at Blackhawks, Kings at Canucks, Penguins at Kraken, and the Anaheim Ducks taking on the San Jose Sharks. And then here's a schedule update for this week. Again, this will be the last NHL DFS video here for this week as I leave tomorrow on a Canada trip with my dad, doing a little hockey tour. We're going to watch the Penguins take on the Calgary Flames and the Edmonton Oilers. Then I'm heading to Winnipeg for my niece's birthday, so I will be out tomorrow through next Tuesday. I can't recommend joining my Discord enough. It is completely free to do so. We got a great group of people in there, and if you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below on this video. If you can't find that link, just leave me a comment and I'm happy to send you an invite there. With all that said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight. But again, just like that Tuesday slate, 12 games tonight, 24 teams to choose from. There's a lot to love about this slate in general, but one line that I like in particular is that first line for the Detroit Red Wings. We got Larkin centering to Brinkett and Kane. Now this line in itself offers massive upside just based on the talent from these three alone, but game by game you can see the chemistry building more between these three. They had a beautiful goal against the Capitals the other day, and the three have now combined for 14 goals, 17 assists, 31 points in their last 10 games. We're going to see Kane and DeBrincat play up on the Red Wings' #1 power play. Larkin plays down on their second, but it's basically a 50-50 split between those top two units, and this Islanders team has struggled on the penalty kill all year long. In fact, they have the worst penalty kill, just hitting at a 71% rate. They also allow 3.33 goals per game, the 9th most in the NHL. And then a cheaper line stack that I like here tonight is that second line for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We got Domi centering Bertuzzi and Nylander. Now, obviously, Nylander very expensive, but the other two being in the 3K range really brings the average salary down to roster these three. And we've seen these three now play their last 6 games together, where they've combined for 11 goals, 11 assists, 22 points, and 58 shots on net, actually playing some really good hockey. We're going to see Nylander and Bertuzzi play up on the Maple Leafs' #1 power play. Domi plays down on their second, and this Coyotes team that they're playing tonight is really struggling. Ever since the All-Star break, they've gone 0-8-2, allowing 4.5 goals per game with a penalty kill that's hitting at just a 74% rate. Now, folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. I'm going to have hockey content coming out for you guys all year long. Alright, now diving into some of my favorite individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards. There's some great spend-up options on this slate tonight. Again, 24 different teams to choose from. There's going to be some elite plays that we can go with. One guy that I like spending up for here tonight, and really a team that I like targeting, is the Florida Panthers. Matthew Tkachuk's been on fire as of late with 6 goals, 12 assists, 18 points, and 29 shots on net in his last 10 games, averaging 17.5 DraftKings points per game. Really good matchup for the Panthers at home here tonight against Montreal, a team that's allowed 3.51 goals per game this year, the 5th most in the NHL, while having the league's 3rd worst penalty kill, hitting at just a 74% rate. I also like the Anaheim Ducks tonight as well, and I'll really like that second line with McTavish and Vatrano a lot more if Troy Terry is back in the lineup tonight, but McTavish has played really well here as of late himself. 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points in his last 10, averaging 11 DraftKings points per game, and this Sharks team is one that we've targeted all year long. They're literally the league's worst team when it comes to goals allowed, allowing 3.82 goals per game while having the league's 5th worst penalty kill. Brandon Hagel's been playing some really good hockey for the Tampa Bay Lightning as of late. 5 goals, 10 assists, 25 shots on net in his last 10 games, averaging 14.5 DraftKings points per game, really playing his best hockey of the year, and it certainly helps when you're up on that first line with Braden Point and Nikita Kucherov, while also playing on that Lightning #2 power play. Now, speaking of guys who are getting a lot of opportunity right now, you got Lekin in there, the Colorado Avalanche. He's playing up on that first line with McKinnon and Rantanen. He's got 6 goals, 5 assists, 11 points here in his last 10, averaging 11.5 DraftKings points per game, and a really good matchup on the road tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks. And then we're dipping into the 4K range. I like Nyquist here here of the Nashville Predators. He's got 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points in his last 10, averaging close to 11 DraftKings points per game, up on that first line with O'Reilly and Forsberg, as well as playing up on the number 1 power play. And this Wild team that they're playing tonight has played some really good hockey since the All-Star break, but one area they continue to struggle with is their penalty kill, which is hit at just a 74.5% rate this year, the 4th worst in the league. Now, moving on to the defensemen, not to sound like a broken record, but obviously some elite options on this slate. Cale Makar, Roman Josi, Noah Dobson if you want to spend up, but I think there's some nice value here in the low 5K range once again, and even dipping in the 3K range. Brandon Montour of the Florida Panthers is definitely someone I'll be on. He has played some really good hockey here as of late. 3 goals, 8 assists, 11 points, 29 shots on net, and averaging close to 15 DraftKings points per game over his last 10. We can stack him up with that Florida number 1 power play, again targeting that penalty kill for the Montreal Canadiens, which has really struggled this year, and on top of that, Florida's power play is hot right now. I like Mo Seider as well, 1 goal, 5 assists, 17 shots on net, and 31 block shots over his last 10, averaging 11.5 DraftKings points per game. Just like Brandon Montour, makes sense to stack him up with that power play for the Red Wings, which is scored at a 31% rate in their last 6 games. Now, dipping into some of the value here for defensemen, Ryan Pulock stuck out to me for the New York Islanders. Maybe not the most offensive defenseman, but he does have 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points in his last 10, and averaging close to 3 block shots per game. That's led to him averaging 10 DraftKings points per game, and I'll take that for a guy priced in the low 4K range, someone who logs around 20 minutes a night, playing on that Islanders number 2 power play and their penalty kill. And then dipping into the 3K range, I had 4 guys that really stuck out to me. Yoki Haru of the Buffalo Sabres, McDonough of the Nashville Predators, Power of the Buffalo Sabres, and then Chisholm of the Minnesota Wild. And then I got a couple of goaltenders here for you, and if I'm looking to spend up tonight, albeit he is the most expensive goalie, Sergei Bobrovsky is someone that I'll definitely be on. Priced at $8,500 here tonight. He's truly been good all year long, but playing really well here in his last 9 games, going 8-1-0 with a save percentage of .934, goals allowed average of 1.98, averaging close to 18 DraftKings points per game, and this Panthers team is a heavy home favorite against Montreal here tonight. I also would be willing to spend up for Swayman of the Bruins. He'll definitely be on my radar. And then if I'm looking to spend down here tonight, Connor Hellebuyck stuck out to me. Yes, this is a tough matchup on the road against Dallas, but Hellebuyck is literally the Vezina favorite at this point in the season. He's been the best goaltender all year long, and I'll take advantage of him at a discounted price. And as always, going to wrap up these DraftKings plays here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy that I got is JT Compher, playing some good hockey as of late, and really this Red Wings team in general's looked good as of late. You're going to see him play on that second line and number 2 power play. Riley Smith, he's getting the treatment on that first line with Sidney Crosby right now. I really like that, and he's also playing down on the Penguins' number 2 power play. Looked good against Vancouver the other night. And then Jack Drury's really starting to turn it on for the Carolina Hurricanes. He's now centering their second line and playing on their number 2 power play. Now, I know some people are probably wondering where the prize picks are at this point. I sat and looked at that NHL board for about 35 minutes this morning and just couldn't finalize 2 picks, so I need to do a deeper dive. I will be posting my picks here on Twitter later today, and I'll also be posting them in my Discord channel. Again, that's completely free to join, and there's a link to do so in the description below. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 12-game slate. And in the meantime, I'm out of here.